Hear my roar. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to venture off into a game of Crucible. Actually, I'm going to play the daily Crucible, which is Salvage. Hey, I'm going to play some Salvage. And while I do that, I'm just going to sit here and complain and hope that Bungie hears my roar. So today's topic of conversation is Warlocks. I've been playing since year one. I got the game. I played the beta, picked a Warlock, and Warlock just happened to be my favorite character of all time. And so I love the Warlock. I didn't think there was any other character that I would like more than the Warlock. I figured the Warlock would be a great character to use, and so I picked it. I love the idea of it being kind of like the magician, the mage, with the magic tricks and all the different things and who's its and what's its galore. But you know, up until this point, they've been awesome. But there's a couple of things that, honestly, at this point, I think need changing. And honestly, it's something that I know that maybe some other people would agree. You know, and I talk with my friends about this, and a lot of my friends agree. You know, some of them disagree. I think most of them disagree. I think people just don't. I'm not very pleasant to talk to. I'm very debative. Is that the right word? Argumentative, and I like to argue, and I argue a lot. And one of my downfalls. But one of the things that I don't like about Warlocks, I mean, we'll start with the Voidwalker class. Okay, I'm playing as Voidwalker now. What it's got going for it, it's got Blink, it's got Nova Bomb, which is pretty cool. I equate Nova Bomb and Shadow Shot and Striker as kind of the same subclass. It's that basically it's just a class that you run and gun. It's a good class for getting in people's grills, and then at the last second, if somebody pops up that surprises you, you know, Striker, you'll Fist of Havoc them, or you'll Nova Bomb them. And that's kind of the idea, is that it's that one stop pop thing. But one of the things I don't like about the Nova Bomb that's different than the rest of the other classes is that Shadow Shot's got 3 shots just in case you miss one. You can run Quiver, and that makes it kind of awesome. You know what I mean? That's kind of the thing I like about it. But I don't like how, you know, they can get 3 shots, right? Okay, cool. What does Striker Titan have? Striker Titan basically kills anybody that's around you. You don't have to aim, you just push buttons and it's good to go, man. And you leap forward, and it's just like, it is a crazy move, you know what I mean? It's awesome. I like Striker Titan. But the thing I don't like about Warlocks is, number one, I have to aim. I only get 1 shot, and if I miss, or if I hit a wall, then it was for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing I don't like about it. It's like, if I hit the wall, then, oh well, you hit the wall. Sucks for you. You don't get your super back or anything like that. You know what I mean? I have to aim it really, really well, and that's not. I don't find that fair, because like, if you know a hunter misses, then that's straight. You know, they've got they can make up for that with their quiver. You know, get a 2nd shot and then a 3rd shot if they mess up. The other thing that I don't like about the Warlock is that the Nova Bomb is literally the only super that you can kill yourself with. Why is it that if I'm too close, I guess, with my Nova Bomb, that I end up killing myself? Striker Titans are all up in their stinking super, and they don't get killed.
Enemy probe out. Disabling.
And I never understood that. I don't understand why we can kill ourselves with our super. And if you've never done that, man, I applaud you, but I know that I've done that a couple of times. Or if you hit a wall, you know what I mean? If you hit a wall, what happens? Boom, it hits the wall, it's done. If you miss, they can just literally blink right out of the way of a Nova Bomb. It's like not hard to get away from it. The only people who can't blink away from it are Titans. But it's just like there's so many ways to avoid it. Actually, now that the Titans have that garrison, Twilight Garrison, they can get away from the Nova Bomb, and that's not cool. I don't like that about that gun. Not that gun, that super. And so that's just, you know, these are things that I'm seeing that I'm like, man, this really stinks about them. And so what can the Nova Bomb do? It can create a vortex. That's pretty cool for control. What else can it do? It can scatter, so that way in case you miss, you know, it can kind of veer off, I guess, to the side a little bit. But then you kind of lose some of the potency of the actual shot that you take. So I don't know, man. I just think that Nova Bomb, I feel like it needs a little something. Or you can go and use your spot for Lance, which Lance will just throw your Nova Bomb like super fast, which I guess is kind of cool. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe you agree with me about this whole Warlock issue. Maybe you don't. You know, I don't know that everybody agrees with me on it. But I know for a fact that this is something that probably I don't know. I honestly think that it's something that could be addressed. The scatter grenades were really cool. That was the only thing that the Voidwalker really, I think that the Voidwalker really had going for it was pretty good, was the scatter grenade. And I think that most grenades, like a trip mine, will one-shot you. You know what I mean? Or if you get stuck by a what do you call those? Those the ones that the hunter has. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. A flux grenade. If you get stuck by a flux grenade, you know, you're done. Striker Titan, they have the lightning grenades or the other ones, and they have I don't know what their third one is that they have. They have a third grenade. There's lightning grenades. There's like the pulse grenades, and then there was another one. I'm really not too sure what it was. You know, but there's just like, you know, these guys have trip mines. Titans have the fusion grenades that they can use. We have fusion grenades too. But you know, like I feel like the grenade that was really good was that one. And then what do? As soon as it comes back, they bring the gauntlets back for that. What do? They nerf it, you know. And not only did they nerf it, but the horrible part is that stinking grenade already takes skill to get a kill with, and yet they're just trying to you know, nerf it again. I'm like, I don't understand. It was already hard enough to get a kill with that thing already. I don't understand why it needs to be nerfed. What's up, Chrissy Poo? What? Oh yeah, it's because I'm broadcasting right now. I'm just venting. I was just venting about like the Warlocks, so I'm taking my anger out on Bungie. But, you know, like, I think that you know, like, with the scatter grenades are awesome for the Warlocks, but then they nerfed them, like, as soon as they brought them back, which I was like, that's not cool, because that was pretty much the only grenade. Oh, Striker Titan. That was the only grenade that he had that was really good. Axiom Bolt's only good if modified by, you know, like a trip mine. You don't need your trip mine to be modified in order for it to kill somebody in one shot, or for it to be good. There's a lot of grenades that are good. You don't need an exotic piece of gear to make it better. But look at the grenades on these guys. You need, for solar grenades, they had the Sunbreakers, which make the vortexes last longer. For scatter grenades, you need the Nothing Manacles. For Axiom Bolts, to make them better, you need to wear the Void Fang Vestments. And so I'm like, man, you need those just to make them good or viable. And I'm just like, that's not cool. Those are just a couple things wrong with, I think, the Warlock subclasses at this moment. Well, actually, with just the Voidwalker. If we switch over to, you know, the Sunsinger rather. What do I not like about Sunsinger? I don't like the fact that you can get one-shotted by a Sunsinger. I don't like that. Like a Sunsinger, as soon as you self-res, what happens? Nothing. You basically just come back to life. That's it. Which, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. But at the same time, you don't come back with any overshield. You have to melee somebody to get that overshield. And most of the time, you can only melee somebody if they're close enough. But if they shotgun and melee you, you're dead instantly. If they snipe your head, you're dead instantly on revive. And I don't think it's good. But, you know, you can self-revive with an overshield, but you got to wear stag. And there's a very low chance that that's actually going to do anything. You know, if you self-res, you know, there's just, I don't know. I think that the self-res class needs to be that tanky class. You know what I mean? Like, I know that it has Radiant Skin. How much of a difference does Radiant Skin make? And that's primarily what I run when I run my Sunsinger. I run Radiant Skin because there's no point in self-res unless I'm running, like, a strike mission or something like, which they took that out of Nightfall, so there was literally that was kind of a blow to Warlocks. Like, hey, you guys, I know that people relied on you for that, but guess what? I don't care. So, oh my gosh, this guy's taking like 6 shots. Oh, you're a champion. So yeah, that's just a couple of beefs I have with that. Like, I think that there should be a tanky class that, you know, that these guys have. I think that every class has something you run from the minute it activates. You know, and that's what I've said to some of my friends. Everybody has one. Sunbreaker. You hear the Sunbreaker go off, what do? You run. You hear a golden gun go off. You're like, golden gun, golden gun. You hear them screaming golden gun and everybody's running away. When do you ever hear a Warlock do that? You never hear anybody go, oh, self-res. No, they go, oh, don't worry. If he self-res, I'm just going to pop him in the dome, and that's it. You know, like, nobody cares. Nobody's scared of Sunsingers, so I think that Sunsingers need some kind of a buff, because I just don't, there's no class that people run from, you know? And if you say that it's the Stormcaller, then you are dead wrong. Because even Stormcaller, even as Stormcaller, I've been shotgun melee'd before. You know, you have to aim that stinking ray. You know, I would think that it would just kind of electrocute whatever's around you. Landfall's pretty cool, but Landfall, you don't want to take up that node because you would rather use, instead of Landfall, you would rather use what? The Ionic Blink to get around. I think they're in the same node. If they're not, I apologize. But, you know, like, I would rather use Ionic Blink than Landfall. So what do? Then I have to use my exotic class armor to my exotic armor. I have to use the impossible machines just to get Landfall for free, and you know, like, I'm like, that's ridiculous. So I have that thing, and then you can get shot a couple of times. You don't get armor more armor when you do that. The Titans, what happens with them? They become impossible to take out, which I know they nerfed that, but you know, like, I wouldn't have complained so much about Titans if they had that. Like, what happens? Each class has that. What do the Titans have? Cauterize. As soon as you activate your super, what happens? Your health you know, you use that, you activate your super, you hit somebody, your health regens. You know what I mean? Or you look at Blade Dancers. When they use their Blade Dancing class, every time they get a kill, their health regenerates fully. They need that. But what do Warlocks have? Nothing. They don't have anything that regenerates health. The only way they can regenerate health is you have to have full grenades, you have to have a fully charged melee, and if you activate your super, your health regenerates at that moment, but it doesn't regenerate over time, nor does it regenerate, you know, every time you get a kill. You don't get anything OP like that. It's just like you have to meet the stipulations in order for it to be good. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that every class has this regeneration class. You know, if I want to regenerate my health when I use my super, I have to use that one, or I have to rock the Apotheosis Veil that nobody wears because it sucks. And so there's just like every subclass. I feel like the only way for your subclass, I feel like Titans have a bunch of classes that no matter what armor you wear, you'll have a lot of fun with the supers. But I feel like most of the supers on the Warlock, what do you have to do? You have to literally put some kind of exotic armor to make it better. That's it. Now, I agree that Sunsinger is probably one of the better classes. It's probably, out of the Warlock classes, it's probably the best one. Because it has the ability to get armor like Radiant Skin, which it makes a difference. It does, I'm not gonna lie. And with Ram's helmet, we used to be unstoppable. You know, like, people used to be afraid of that. Oh, the Ram's helmet, watch out, he's gonna have increased armor. But what does that do now? We got the Ram's helmet back, but you don't really see much of a difference. You know, they just don't feel like Warlocks are a threat. And then you look at the Warlocks overall, and what do we see? Like, watch. Titans have huge armor, right? And so they're tanks. They can take multiple hits, man. There have even been times where when they're using Headstrong, you have to shoot a Titan twice in order to get them. You have to shoot them with a golden gun twice in order to kill a Titan sometimes. Even with the Sunbreaker, you had to you shoot him with a rocket, he won't die. I know they nerfed that. And they fixed that, but that, you know, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that armor, that's what we should have. But the Titans have it because I get that. But what do Hunters have? Hunters have agility. They have the highest agility, their fastest moving character. So what do Warlocks have? They have the highest recovery rate. But what does recovery matter in a metagame where everything's a one-shot? And that's annoying. You know, if I'm going to get one-shotted by everything, then I don't think that it's fair to expect you know, everybody's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, we've got this subclass. You guys are really good at recovery. Okay, great, that's fantastic. What is that? Why? How does that help me? Because I don't see how recovery time helps. Because most of the time, you get into a gunfight, one of you's gonna die. Even if I get that kill, my recovery time afterwards was faster. I guess that's a good thing, but I mean, it needs to be blazing fast. You know what I mean? Like, there should be a monumental difference between the recovery speed on a Warlock and all the rest of the characters. And I don't know. I just don't know that I've noticed that about him. So, you know, that's kind of my beef. A lot of things that I think could be changed about the Warlock, which is funny because all they needed to do for the Titans was really just kind of fix their broken subclass that they had before. But instead, what did? They ended up buffing all the rest of the classes. I'm like, wow. So you will have to make something OP, and then you make all the rest of the classes better and nerf one class. I'm like, if you're gonna look at anybody as a whole, why don't you look at Warlocks? Why hasn't anybody done anything about Warlocks yet? And so I just think that Warlock should be next in line to get some stuff fixed. Hunter is the most played character out of every character, or subclass rather. Is the Hunters. They're the best. Everybody loves Hunters. I agree with that. They are really good. As a matter of fact, I stopped playing as my Warlock and started playing as my Hunter, and it was so easy. And when I switched back to my Warlock now, it's like, and I didn't even play for my Hunter that long. I played with my Hunter for like maybe a month, not even. And it now, just moving back to the Warlock, it's just like, wow, I miss being the Hunter, you know. And I don't think that that's how it should be, especially since I'm a hard Warlock fan. And so I just think that Bungie needs to fix all these little Warlock problems we're having, because honestly, Warlocks seem really underpowered in comparison to a lot of the other classes. And I stand by my opinion on that. And I think that Warlocks should be better. I don't know if they will be or when they will be, but take that. Ah, I died. I should have recovered instantly. No, I'm just kidding. Not that fast, but you know what I mean. We gotta do something about this. So if you're part of the Destiny community and you are a Warlock and you are tired of not getting any love, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, do whatever it takes, and see if Bungie maybe can hear this out, or maybe this will be something that they look at. Like, I think maybe out of everything that I've said, the biggest argument for me is that Warlocks need a subclass that people run from when they hear it. I think that if you were to fix Sunsingers, and that self-res, or when they use Radiant Skin, they get an overshield and increased armor. You know, something like that makes people go, okay, I need to run from this guy. There's no class like that for the Warlocks, and I just think it's about time that they get some love. Okay. And I'm dead. Well, if you agree with me, like, comment, subscribe, or if you disagree with me, comment. I'm open to feedback and opinions. But, yep, hopefully you have a good day. I'll check you guys out later. Peace out.